Today is Monday, 10th of August 2020. I am Ajay Jadhav. I will continue my talk on the subject of Stay Out of Trouble, Part 7. So, previously, I have explained in the last recording in Part 6 that what you will do if you become a creator of this earth for one day, how you would like to associate with this planet. Do you like to enjoy or provide your services or travel around, explore it? The purpose behind this quiz is to let you know what a real creator will do with this planet. After creating this planet, how you will like to associate with it. So I hope you have played this quiz. I hope you have entered into meditation and tried to find the answers, and you have the idea that what you will do if you are a creator of this earth for one day. So the purpose of this quiz is to let you know what a real creator would like to do with this planet. Let's take an example. We all like to drive new cars, right? With lot of horsepower, luxurious features in it, new model. Just imagine, after being a creator and having a one day, how many cars you would like to drive in this one day. There are so many new cars on this planet, and being a creator, you have a privilege, you have a right access to pick any car of choice or any number of cars you can drive. You can drive all those cars. This one day is not sufficient to drive all those cars. So if you are the creator for one day, there is not much you can do in one day, right? So what if you become the creator for 100 days? How you will like to enjoy the cars? Don't you think that you will stop driving cars after few days? You will get tired, right? How many cars you would like to drive? It will be boring. So I want you to reach your limit of enjoyment. There is a limit how long you can enjoy any activity, any material object, how long you can hold on to it. There is a limit, and I would like you to sit silently. Like at present, at the time of this recording, I am sitting under the same giant tree in the park in my town here. It's a really nice park. I'm sitting on grass. There is a road behind me, so once in a while I witness a car passing by. I'm sitting silently. So enter into meditation, sit silently, do not move bodily parts, let your body relax, let it be on itself, let your eyes, ears, nose do their job, and you start entering into meditation, start to find the limit of your enjoyment. See, as you contemplate, as you start thinking, then you will find that there is a limit, there is a possibility of a limitation, there is limit to enjoy material object in this world, on this planet. So now think about this. Do you really want to work hard, give up all the lifetime you have to earn money or to earn fame, reputation, to earn followers, fans, subscribers? Do you really want to give up your lifetime, or you would like to sit silently and be desireless? Is it possible to be desireless? Yes, it is. If you accept that there was a man called Buddha in India 2000 years before, if you accept that Buddha is a real personality, it's not a fictitious character. There was a man called Buddha once upon a time, 2000 years before. If you accept it's a history, it's not a mythology. Or if you even accept that there is a possibility of a Buddha now in the time and space we live, anyone can be a Buddha if he wants to be or she wants to be. So Buddha is desireless. He do not have a desire for this earthly planet or any planet. He do not desire any material object for happiness. So if we hypothesize, if we accept the fact that it is possible to be desireless, just for our contemplation, for our meditation today, then the very moment we accept the fact or the possibility of being desireless, then we do accept that we are desireless now. Because if you are not desireless deep down, you will never be desireless. Because you cannot become which you are not. You cannot be which you do not have within you. Take another example. If I sow the seed of mango I will not get avocado out of that plant. The plant will bear the fruit of its own. You cannot sit under the mango tree and hope for avocados falling on you. It will not happen. So deep down within you, if you are not desireless, no matter how long you will sit in meditation, you will never be desireless, because that's not your nature. So this idea, this theory of having a nature, having a firm nature, or the theory of having an origin, you have to discover it. You have to find it yourself. Reading in books, scriptures, and accepting the books, scriptures, theories, and not practicing the process explained in those theories, books, literature, scriptures, is not a proper way. You are wasting your time. If you hear any theory, if you read scripture, literature, books, you get information, you have to taste that information. You have to act on that information and see what happens. That is a proper way to realize the knowledge. You can read the words of knowledge, but you can realize that knowledge when you practice yourself. So, staying out of trouble. So, I really want you to know your limitation of enjoyment, and then you will see how fertile is your endeavor to gain lot of money, lot of resources, lot of followers, lot of audience, lot of fans, lot of fame, prosperity. You really have to find out what you want to be. Did you ever ask yourself what you want to be? Or you always followed others? You always followed the crowd. It is very easy to follow the crowd because the crowd is in majority. But I want you to gain your freedom, your individual freedom, and start acting. We need action because that is the very sign of life. I see trees around me in the park at the time of this recording, and their branches are moving as the wind is blowing here. I see leaves are moving. They are in action, and it shows me that they are alive. That tree is alive because it's moving, it is acting. It's not stopping the wind, it's moving along with the wind. So in the life we always try to run away from the troubles. First of all, as I have explained before, trouble is an imagination of unhealthy self. We have created troubles around us. There are incidents, facts, situations, circumstances. We call them trouble. So we try to run away from troubles. We do not like to see ourselves in trouble. But what will happen when you will not try to run away from troubles and you will not name anything trouble in your life? No matter whatever happens, you will not call it trouble. You will call it as a course of nature. You will call it as if the wind is blowing. So we have been taught to run away from troubles, feel miserable, frustrated, disappointed, afraid for situations, incidents we call trouble. So we have developed a book of trouble, and this is done by majority of the society we live in. So it's happening. It is being taught in schools, colleges, that such incident is trouble and we have to suffer because it is trouble. We have to feel ourselves down, frustrated because we are involved in particular incident which is named as trouble. I want you to eradicate the idea of trouble from yourself and face any situation, any circumstance comes on your way. Learn from it and go forward without feeling weak, frustrated, down, helpless, unfortunate, unlucky. And for this you need meditation. You have to enter into meditation and eradicate the very concept of trouble from yourself. It will not happen in one sitting, one time meditation of 10 minutes or 20 minutes. You have to practice it. As you go along practicing, you will see the change effect in your life. In 3 months, 4 months, you will start witnessing the effect. That trouble will start vanishing from your thoughts. The world we live in and the world within us, like the eyes are looking around outside, but eyes cannot look behind them. What is behind them? You can see what is behind eyes. Eyes cannot see. So you have to see who you are. You have to be non-body. There, as I have explained before, there is a platform where your body is active, and there is another platform where you can be active. You can be somebody else than body. Try to find out that how you can be somebody else than body. And you'll find it out in meditation. sitting silently, you will enter into meditation. I'm hearing some bird voices now. It's very pleasant. Nice air. I'm sitting under this giant tree. This tree is very peaceful. So, after being a creator for one day and finding out what desires you will have, now you can have a very faint idea about what desire a real creator will have. Now you do not have two cars. That's why you think it will be nice to have a second car. But when you have 4 cars, vehicles, then you will think it will be nice to have a second house. Then you will have 4 houses. You will start thinking it's nice to have a helicopter. So this list and this journey never stops. And what you are missing out is to enter within yourself. To know who you are. And why you are having desires. After entering into meditation, you can go to the root of your desires. And see where from it's coming. You do not have experience of being desireless. That's why you say that it's not possible to be desireless. But when you will be desireless, then you will know that all the time you were running around was useless and foolish. You wasted your time running around chasing desires. So the information, words you collect from books, scriptures are worthless unless you practice them and endeavor to experience their value in your life. Just holding on to words and thinking you have them is very childish. If you practice the words from scriptures, books, if you practice the process explained therein, then you will know the reality of those words and the propaganda therein. Then you will know for sure what truth lies in those words. The gateway of inquiry in self is to enter into meditation. I have explained previously that entering into meditation is like sit silently under the tree on grass. Don't move your bodily parts, just let your body be, and you start entering into meditation. Find out who you are. Eyes are looking. You can keep your eyes open when you are entering into meditation. Let eyes look around. You don't need to look. Let eyes do their job. Ears are listening voices. Wind is blowing. Nose is breathing. Let senses do their activities and you enter into meditation. Then you will see that you are something else than your body. You are something else than your senses. And you will see that senses will demand, eyes will demand to see nice looking objects. Ears will demand to hear nice melodious music, voices. Nose will demand to smell nice odor, perfume, scents, perfume, nice smell. Nose will demand that, and you can see these demands are coming and going. You do not need to do special endeavor for them. Eyes can find their nice looking objects wherever you are. They can see nice trees, streets, cars around. Ears can hear the nice bird voices, noise of cars approaching, passing by. They can find their comfort in those voices. Nose can find comfort in smelling fresh air. So you will see the senses are engaged in sense objects and you are not doing anything. So slowly you will find that you are something else than your body. You are within body, but you are not body. You are something else. So staying out of trouble is possible when you stop running out of trouble from trouble. So let me say it again. Staying out of trouble is possible when you stop running from them. Staying out of trouble is possible when you stop running from it. face the situations, circumstances, incidents, act vigilantly, be awake, and do not name any incident, situation, circumstance as a trouble. Do not call it trouble, then you will be free from trouble. I would like to stop here. Enter into meditation. It is very easy. Sit silently, stop moving your bodily parts, let your eyes, nose, ears, senses engage into their objects. Let your body be and you be with yourself. Enter into meditation. I hope you will enter into meditation. Thanks for listening to this talk attentively. Namaste.